Well, a key inflation indicator will be released tomorrow morning by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. It's called the PCE. It's the price index that the Federal Reserve uses to really set the main tool for interest rates and how they get set. Let's talk to Jessica Inskip joining us now. She's the Director of Investor Research at stockbrokers.com. All right, so what do you think this is telling us about the overall inflation picture?
Well, what's important is this is going to feed into interest rate policy, like you said. So PCE, we separate in between goods and services. So we want to see where inflation is actually showing up. Our prior release, we actually saw some deflation or cooling on the goods side, but there was more heating up on the service side. That's due to a lot of things. One, oil was coming down, so we see that within the inflation picture on the goods side.
Got it.
And also tariffs being removed from the situation coming out of the goods side. Now, the risk with that, if we've now had some more heating up of the Iran conflict, that's caused some volatility within the oil market, that may show back up within inflation. And so what I'm watching for very specifically, is that trend going to continue downwards? We're expecting 3.6 on the headline. If we strip out food and energy, we're expecting 3.3, so we call that core PCE.
Got it.
If we beat that, or as in it comes in lower than expected, then rate cuts may not be on the table, which is great. We don't want to see that because that's going to really affect the bond market, and there's a lot going on there. If it comes in higher than anticipated, then we could see rate cuts or rate hikes back on the table, and that's not going to go very well for equity markets. It could send the markets down. It's bad for the consumer because we have to constrain the demand side of the equation.
Let's talk about the tech of it all. Of course, NVIDIA, as so many people's 401ks are tied to tech stock, NVIDIA as well. Second quarter earnings released tomorrow. What's the expectation? What do you think we can learn from that?
Well, NVIDIA really is going to tell us the AI narrative. So from a mathematical perspective, it represents a huge component of the market, a little under 8%, so it can certainly move it. But more importantly, it's going to give us the demand side of what's happening with artificial intelligence. Even tying back to PCE, memory and high bandwidth memory is a huge and an increase within our inflation measures right now. Understanding if there is still demand for artificial intelligence leads into what we're getting from the hyperscalers. Those are Amazon, Google, Apple, understanding where their spending is, which is another component of the market, which affects everyone's 401k, meaning we're going to get a really good insight tomorrow on how that AI narrative is holding up. That's a component of GDP. That's a component of PCE. That is literally an extremely important component to the overall equation for the health of the market.
The interconnectivity there is super crucial. I'll be interested to see what happens, especially with NVIDIA and tech. Thank you so much. Nice to talk to you, Jessica Inskip.
Thanks.